And we are back, folks, with the FastPoint APAC monthly September. That is so hard to say, especially when I'm not thinking. We are going to get started with the top 16 here. The match is actually starting now, so we're just going to get into that very shortly. We are going to be watching Chriso, Redbolt, Smithy, and Einol compete. And we're going to see those guys compete. We got all the seeding and stuff, and we will discuss that later. But for now, let us go and watch our beautiful players here.
You want to see those players competing. And yeah, the match started right before we started casting, which is not so good. Not so nice. That's unfortunate, but it is what it is. It is the casting booth. It is the timing, but it's not much a problem right now. Seeing the players competing on this map, which is Goito. For those who have forgotten this map, it's rather a precision map with tight lines, with some pretty overall good drift, not Neos, but yeah, you have to keep those lines, you have to keep the speed, and with that finish, you have to be precise as possible.
Yeah, of course. And there we can see Einol picking up 10 points for that one. Chriso's still in first place. Obviously, we had the first round and Chriso won that. We are watching that there as we do have that. I believe you're watching that one. I believe you're watching that one, Nitro.
Yeah, I think we got messed up. I think we didn't.
Okay, I think we have the right people now as we are heading into this round. Yep, we're good now. Okay, we do have the correct players. We do have Kunal there in first place with Careless Cobra in second. Pixels in third, moving to fourth there with PRL there. Fortunately, Pixels didn't get as good a drift on that corner, so it is going to mean that he's going to be wide for that one. But Kunal and Careless Cobra basically on top of each other, trying to make sure that they can get that extra little bit of speed to take over the other one. Kunal keeping very close lines on this one, heading into the grass drift. He's going up and he's hitting the grass cleanly. No jump there. And it's going to give him all the speed he needs. 0.3 ahead of Careless Cobra, getting him first place. Cobra second. And it's going to be Pixels taking third with PRL only 0.1 behind that.
42.3. A really good time. Rather good time on this map. If you can keep it consistent. If you can keep it consistently, you can definitely gain some huge points, especially if the other are making some mistakes. Because the goal is to not make mistakes, obviously, and to keep that speed, to keep those points, as we can see with Kunal right now, getting in first positions, entering the third line, getting really outside, not getting airtime. So rather having a good line, getting a bit of airtime with the plastic part, but still maintaining that speed with some drift, little mini drifts to keep up the speed and to not lose it. And yeah, right now finish, and it's gonna be a 42.2 consistent time, good time. But yeah.
Quite a good, consistent time from Kunal, getting himself another 10 points there. But that is the fourth round on Goito as we do move on. And I believe the next map will be Quicken, if I'm not mistaken.
Either Quicken or Beyond. It is going to be
Seems to be Quicken. Yeah. It does appear that it's going to be Quicken. Yeah, as we do get started with Quicken as well, we didn't actually get a chance to talk about the seeding. With this match, we do have Kunal as the number 2 seed, losing out to Winky Face. We've got Cobra as the 7th seed. Pixels, the Vietnamese player, is the 10th seed, and PRL was the 15th seed. So we have quite a good balance there of players. And we do have Kunal, obviously, right now on 40 points, holding steady with Chaos Cobra at 28, which means both of them got first and second for that entire map. But this is the map where crashes are going to be brutal, and not being able to hold that 5th gear is going to be even more brutal, as we do have the warm-up here. All the players getting comfortable with this map once again. Who do you think is going to go through from this top 4?
I would say Kuno and Careless Cobra.
Yeah,
I would say, yeah, top 2. Like Kuno getting consistent, speedy, even in the warm up.
Yeah, I do agree. I do believe that it is going to be Kunal and Cobra who are going to get those spots. Holding steady, doing really well in these rounds. As we do get started with round 1, we are going to be watching everyone at the start getting that smooth transition down. I believe that was Pixels, who may have gone a little bit too high, losing a lot of speed. But Cobra is currently ahead of Kunal as we do head into this downhill drift. Kunal's able to get the inside, but having to do a couple of extra drifts. Going to lose a little bit of speed there. We've got Cobra following around, and it's going to be him getting the faster line on the plastic. The plastic seems to be an interesting divider there, as we do have Kunal gaining a bit of speed, getting a smoother landing on the platform, able to get those extra few drifts, not bonking on that corner, dropping down into that road section, able to get that long drift, getting himself that auto slide as we do head onto the magnet. Got a magnet here where they're going straight across, no bonks there. It does appear that Chaos Cobra may have bonked out, so it does mean that PRL is going to be behind, but Kunal is way ahead at this point as he heads on the grass corner, onto the risky ending and into the finish, getting himself another 10 points. We've got PRL in a close second, about 2.4 seconds, not too bad. Cobra's bonked out and had to DNF, but Pixels will be able to pick up that 3rd place.
Like Kunal, like a good time on this map would be 42.5, 52 low overall, and Kunal with this run like made us see that it is possible and that he's fast on the map. But yeah, if like with it was Cobra who bonked, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, he did not finish, which is not a good, unfortunately, good move, because you want to finish, you want to get those points, whatever it takes. But like as we're seeing right now, Kunal is far ahead by 0.6 of Pixels right now, getting faster and faster and faster. On this part with the dirt, you have to be careful, and Kunal is doing it like going on the right side of that turn, of that third section, because if you go on the left, you can clip and you can basically get over and not finishing maybe or losing all of your speed.
It's gotta be. Sorry, I cut out.
I was about to say 52.6. Again, good time.
Yeah, apologies for that. Yeah, Kunal getting a 52.6. Quite a solid time. That dirt is very brutal. You need to make sure you're not sliding out too much to lose your speed, but you want to make sure that you can hit that angle as we do head into the next round. Pixel's actually getting quite a good run there as well, not bonking. We did see Cobra and PRL bonking out, but Kunal's holding steady on this map, keeping a lot of speed as we do head into this downhill drift. He's able to get the one drift, which means he's going to keep a lot more speed on that, get the smooth plastic transition, onto the engine off, only a little bit of engine off, but that's going to be fine as he heads over the dirt with a good run there. Does appear PRL has unfortunately bonked out, but Careless Cobra is right behind Kunal, wants to try and gain, but not as much speed as Kunal. Kunal is holding that gear 5 quite steady, so he's able to just snowball his speed and quicken himself, as we do have Careless Cobra right behind there still, trying to fight for that spot. 1 second behind Kunal, getting that clean drift up, as we do head down into that grass section. Drifting around, Kunal's got it steady. Careless Cobra is trying to gain as much speed as possible, holding himself over his competitor. Kunal obviously getting the 52.6, and Cobra getting second, with Pixels 0.8 behind in 3rd place. PRL is a fair margin behind. He may not be able to finish. He has run out of time, unfortunately, but it is a brutal map, if I do not say so myself.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. Brutal map if you don't have the speed. Because you have to keep it, as a matter of fact. Hence the name of the map. Otherwise, it could have been named something else. I don't know. But yeah, quicken yourself. Get quick. And yeah, Kunal does does it perfectly, keeping the momentum, keeping the speed as we're entering this third section, keeping the outside line to keep the speed, to increase your speed. Right now, you have to be careful. Players have to be careful with this black bar because you can auto drift and maybe not drift and maybe lose speed and lose control of your car and maybe bonk. But right now, that's not the case for Kuna, as PRL has bonked and has 1 second of delay. I would say not delay, but late bonks happen, and as we're seeing Kuna finishing and PRL missing the finish. It's a battle between Pixels and PRL. Pixels wait for the safe finish as PRL took the hard finish and sniped Pixels. Wow.
It was quite a close round for those two. Pixels had to take the safe finish there, and PRL, knowing that he had to try and risk that, went for the risky finish again. You did notice that there were a few bonks there. PRL able to recover despite the fact that he smacked into the rail on the right side of the dirt section at the end, but was able to recover it, get himself all the speed he needed. As we do move into Beyond, this map, once again, all about keeping your outside lines, all about that precision. And Kunal is 80 points right now, and I believe we are going to 100. So it's going to be 3 wins for Kunal, and he secures his spot in the top 8. As we do have the warm-up.
That's the question. It is someone capable of taking that first place from Kunal, because right now, from the start, he has done nothing but first places. Is anyone can do better, I would say, or maybe the other are expecting Kunal to maybe make a mistake and not get that first place. But as of right now, feels like Kunal is getting consistent and getting those first places. So we'll have to see this finish precision. That's all.
Indeed.
If I have to resume, it's one word: precision.
Kunal is definitely one of those players that that basically comes into this coming off that second place so close to that first seed, but he is so strong as a competitor that the others are just going to have to try and keep up with him as we get started with round 1. Every player is going to be fighting, knowing that if Kunal wins 3 in a row, he will just get himself his finalist spot and not have to play any more maps. But we do have a bonk out early from Pixels. That is going to slow him down big time. Kunal getting that inside line on the grass, able to keep a clean angle, but going to be Careless Cobra right there as well, trying to fight for that top spot as well. Pixels just behind PRL, maybe be able to keep more speed on the dirt as PRL didn't take the full outside line. Careless Cobra and Kunal are still dueling it out in that top position. It's going to be Careless Cobra getting a little bit of airtime. It's going to mean Kunal can capitalize on this, get himself more speed. It's going to be that outside dirt for Cobra, able to try and keep as much speed as possible there. Kunal's now heading to that downhill drift as we do head for the risky finish. Going for that risky finish. Heading to the left. Clean finish by him. 47.7. And we do have Cobra there with a 48.2. 0.5 separating them. This is still really close.
Yeah, he was rather driving pretty safe. Not risking that much. But he gained that first position. Careless Cobra was close to him, but unfortunately couldn't keep up and got those little seconds of maybe milliseconds. And as we are seeing Kunal some lag issues, but that's no problem. He's back in the race, and right now none of the players have made a mistake, which is super good. But Kunal with this first place entering the third section, you have to keep this outside line not touching to keep the speed and to keep the momentum. Entering another drift with a green section, you don't want to get airtime in this section, but as PRL maybe did a little bit of a touch, and yeah, the players keeping the speed with the drift, with the last spot, with the finish. Is someone gonna fail or not? And Kunal has to respawn and didn't get that first place, unfortunately. Pixels with the +10, which is gonna be super good for him, but Kunal couldn't keep the first place through all of this.
Well, losing a round is honestly okay. Regardless, he is going to get finalist as long as he can get the win on this round. And once he gets finalist, he's just going to get another win. That one round, we just like don't talk about it. We just say that he maybe took a bit of a left line or whatever. But straight into this one, he is currently in first place, wanting to fight for that spot. We do have PRL there, who unfortunately did bonk out, and Pixels unfortunately bonking at the start. So it's going to be Careless Cobra and Kunal dueling in that top spot. But Kunal's just gaining speed. He is snowballing it right now, keeping the strong lines. We're going to be seeing Kunal getting himself quite ahead in the lead. Will Pixels be able to recover, knowing that Careless Cobra and Pixels are separated by only 4 points? After Kunal's out of there, it's going to come down to those two dueling it out to see who can actually get that top 8 spot. As we do have the ending here with Kunal getting first and Cobra in second. PRL able to get that third, and Pixels is now just heading towards the ending. Will he have enough time to finish as we head into this left-hander? And he hits it cleanly into the finish. Kunal now entering finalist mode.
Finalist mode. Now, there's a lot of pressure. Finalist mode, plus you have to finish first again to win the match, to finish in first place. So he will have to capitalize on that as he's clipping the start. Maybe he can gain. He has all he has to do is to not bonk again, as we're seeing him into. Yep, Pixels in first place right now in the dirt section. It's pretty stacked with Cobra, but unfortunately Cobra gaining that momentum, keeping that speed. Pixel in second place behind him. Maybe Careless Cobra can make a mistake for Pixels to get first place, but unfortunately, as I'm saying that, Pixels made a mistake, touched, and PRL got in second position. But maybe we can see a snipe on the end, and that's not the case. Careless Cobra getting 10 point, PRL 7 point, and Pixel 5 points.
Unfortunately, we do have word from Kunal that Kunal bonked and unfortunately DNF'd himself because he crashed big time. But it does mean we are moving to the next map. Kunal still in that finalist mode, warming up on Goito once again, trying to make sure that he can get at least one dub on this map. And this map is probably, I'd say, the easiest out of the 3. So it's all about that consistency and trying to optimize your lines as much as possible. Not just trying to not crash, but trying to keep as much speed as possible, get your close angles, get your outside dirt lines if required, keeping all your gears. So as long as Kunal can keep all of that consistent for one round and get himself a win, gets himself out of finalist mode and into that top 8 fight. But it's going to be Careless Cobra and Pixels. 11 points separating them. PRL's back in the fight, 4 points behind Pixels. So separating PRL and Careless Cobra, we've got 17 points. That is still really close. And so it's going to come down to, who's getting those dubs in the rounds. It could be Careless Cobra round after round, and he'll get himself finalist and get himself out there. It could be that Pixels is able to get some good times on this map, get those 99 points, and move towards the, finalist spot there. It's just going to come down to who can keep consistent on this map as we do head into round 1.
Exactly, like you've said it. Maybe this map is not easier, but rather more simple. But simple doesn't mean that it is easier. Like this map shows it because they are tight lines. They are tough lines. You have to keep those. For example, on the start, the dirt section, you have to keep it outside to keep the momentum, to keep the speed. For the next drift, as we're seeing Kunal entering it with Careless Cobra getting first place. But yeah, outside, as you can see, if you touch even a bit of the wall, you're out and you can be, it is going to be a disaster. But right now, Kunal getting it perfectly, getting into the grass section with a perfect, almost perfect drift. And right now, as we're seeing into the last section, and Kunal will get it. GG, first place for Kunal.
Kunal getting himself that first spot heading into the top 8. It's going to be Careless Cobra also picking up another 7 points there. But from this point forward, 10 points is the name of the game. With 15 points separating second and third, it's going to come down to who can get those first places, get those 10 points, move themselves to finalists faster. as we do have everyone starting on this map. We've seen Careless Cobra put out some good results, but it seems pretty even. PRL going slightly wide as we drop down onto the black platform, able to keep a lot more speed there, but he is going to be fighting with Careless Cobra, who's getting that inside line there. Pixels is trying to keep up as well. It's still a really close fight between these guys, only 0.2 separating the three of them as we head into the plastic section. Going to be a clean line there from Cobra, not able to bonk down on that section as we head into the grass drift. He's setting up well, getting that low line, keeping himself low, minimal airtime, but able to get that drift to recover. PRL is going to get a lot more speed over Pixels, and Cobra nearly loses it by bonking, but manages to recover with a 43.4. Pixels there with a 43.5, and PRL 10 milliseconds behind Pixels. This is still a close fight.
Let me tell you something. That was a close round, because at the end is a murder. Like, if you lose a bit of speed or touch, like, it can be so fast. In an instant, you can lose that first place or that second place. You can lose those points in an instant. But as we saw, it's just amazing. Like, seeing this round like this, see this close, like right now, 0.2 of a second between the first and the third, as we're seeing PRL hitting the checkpoint, unfortunately, and has to slow down because he doesn't have the line, unfortunately. 1 second behind Careless Cobra, which is first, and we're gonna take that first place and those 10 points, and will be, unfortunately, 1 point behind finalist mode. That's really unfortunate.
Really unfortunate that he didn't hit finalist mode, but at the same time, regardless of the placement, he could get like the last place here and still enter finalist mode. But he still wants to try and steal as many points away from Pixels as possible in this round, because if he can get those 10 points, that's only 7 points for Pixels, moving him to 85 points total. But Careless Cobra is going to keep that inside line there, with PRL unfortunately lagging behind a little bit. Pixels right behind, knowing what's on the line here. Careless Cobra's going to get that clean line on the dirt, going for that outside dirt, getting that smooth transition up, keeping a lot more speed than Pixels, moving 0.5 ahead over him, as we do have Cobra going into this drift, getting a clean drift there. Will he be drifting onto the grass? Yes, he will. Getting that low line, keeping the low line, no airtime there. He must be happy with himself for that. Going into the finish, doesn't bonk the finish, gets himself into finalist mode as we head back into Quicken. Pixels getting those 7 points, and PRL getting those 5.
Everything is going to be decided on the map, where you have to keep up the pace, as I can say. If it is Quicken, if I remember correctly. But yeah, all is going to be decided in that maybe, and I'm saying maybe, final round on Quicken by that Sky Frick. Sky. Ski, Sky. Yeah, Ski Freak.
As something to note as well, every player who's competing in the top 16, so from the start of these rounds forward, every player gets at least one FastPoint point to head towards, later competitions. Get yourself those spots in the invitationals and everything. So regardless of the fact that these guys will be getting, knocked out in this round, one person will be going through and they'll be able to get themselves 2 points instead of 1 at a minimum. The two players who are currently going to get knocked out will get 1 point regardless, which will go to the invitationals that are coming up soon. In this one as well, we do have the results from the other match. Einol and Chriso getting themselves the 2 seats. The two I expected, to be honest, to go through, getting 4th and 5th seeds respectively. They've moved forward into the top 8, so it's just going to come down to who can get that top 8 spot from this match as well.
Yeah, and I will let you take it away, Edamame, for that maybe final round. And maybe if it's not finished, I'm going to take after you. But yeah.
Okay, let's go with the potentially final round on this one. Careless Cobra knowing he needs to win to get finalists as we get started with round 1. Got all the players here keeping really well. Pixel's getting a smooth line on that one, but it's going to be PRL actually getting the inside line. Dueling it out with Careless Cobra, knowing what's on the line here. As long as he can stop Careless from winning, it's going to stop Careless moving on. Careless able to keep more speed on that one, moving into the plastic there. He's able to go into that reset ring, able to keep that speed on that outside line, but PRL still fighting. He's still in the fight there. Onto the black platform, gets himself the auto slide, but gets it clean all the way through. does mean that Careless Cobra is able to get that inside drift to keep a bit more speed there, but he knows what's on the line here. PRL going for that outside line, trying to risk as much as possible, knowing what's at stake here. Got to be Careless Cobra right behind him as well. And he bogs! PRL may be able to get the 10 points and steal it away from Careless Cobra. Pixels is right behind as well. And PRL hits the edge. And it's going to mean he bonks the black platform. Pixels will get 10 points. And it's going to be PRL in that second spot, fighting his way forward to make sure he gets that finish. Second place there, Careless Cobra in third. We move into the second round on Quicken because of Careless's bonk.
Oh my gosh. Now Pixels getting in that section where he's 5 points behind finals mode. Maybe if he keeps it up, he will be finals mode. As of right now, Careless Cobra getting in first position as we seeing PRL and not Pixels. I thought Pixels hit, but he didn't. Careless Cobra with a 0.6 ahead of Pixels. So many X's. Oh my gosh. Yeah, Careless Cobra getting faster and faster. Now 1 second ahead of Pixels of both players. As of right now, what he has to do is safe, get those speed, keep the speed, keep those lines, and he will be safe. It's an avenue, I would say, to the finish. But you never know. Maybe he will fail. I don't know. I don't want to jinx. I'm not a jinxer. And he has done it. He is finished first and getting that second position on the map.
Indeed. Careless Cobra moving forward from the other match as well. We have Planetary Goose, the number 3 seed, and Amentress, the number 6 seed, moving forward. So, in the top 8, that fight's going to be Kunal, Careless Cobra, Planetary Goose, and Amentress. I realize my room is pretty dark right now, so I'm going to turn on a light so all of you can see my gorgeous face. Perfect. And now we have lights. Yeah. Indeed, and this is quite solid from these guys, getting that spot there. Chriso and Einol in the other match as well. We're going to be seeing Winky Face and Kelva potentially getting that spot. That match is still to play. We have still to get those spots there. But we do have this other match. We actually just got the results. Perfect timing. Winky and Kelva are going to be moving forward. So the top 8 is going to be Winky, Kelva, Chriso, and Einol fighting it out. And Kunal, Careless Cobra, Planetary Goose, and Amentress fighting it out. A lot of Australian players there, if I don't say so myself. We've got Winky, Chriso, Careless Cobra. We've got Planetary Goose, who's New Zealander, but we count him in ANZ. We've got Amentress. 5 Australian players making it to the top 8. 2 Type N members with Einol and Kunal. And Kelva there as well. This is a really, really good-looking semi-final.
Yeah. Thrilled semi-final. The first one, I'm thrilled to see how it is gonna end. But yeah, like Winky Face, this is a good lineup. This is gonna be a pretty stacked match. Like for sure, I'm thrilled to see it for real. Like I can't wait.
Indeed, it's gonna be quite exciting. We can check the full standings here, and we are gonna be saying goodbye from. We're gonna say goodbye to Shroopy, Pixels, Arpo, Smithy, Redbolt, Rizia, PRL, and Lawful. We are saying goodbye to them. The top 8 seeds are also the top 8 we're going to be seeing. So unfortunately, we are saying goodbye to 9 to 16. But it does mean that those guys will be getting 1 FastPoint point to help them in their campaign for the Invitationals coming up. We are going to be seeing that 5th to 8 will be able to get 2 points. Third will get 4. Fourth will get 3, second will get 6, and first place getting the elusive $10 to buy themselves a nice McDonald's meal and 10 FastPoint points, which is going to hold steady. I still have my money on Winky Face winning again, but who knows? Kunal could provide that upset.
Yeah, right now. But yeah, qualification standings. As of right now, I don't know. First place. Who do you think is going to be on the first place in the Mummy?
I still think
Winky Face
is going to do that. Looking at the seeding, looking at the seeding right now, we do have a lot of Australians up there. As you can see, we had, I believe, 8 Australians total. We had Rizia and PRL there from I believe Indonesia, if I'm not mistaken. Those guys as well, doing really well in 14th and 15th. We did have Pixels, the Vietnamese, who unfortunately we have to say goodbye to 10th place in qualifications. As I said, first time we've seen a Vietnamese player getting quite a solid solid spot, I should say, in the qualifiers and able to keep himself steady. But unfortunately in the match, it was too strong for Careless Cobra was too strong for him, and unfortunately we had to say goodbye to him. Overall, like, we got a really good standing there. We got a lot of strong players, a lot of strong competitors, and a lot of Australians, funnily enough. So I do think Winky will take it out unless Kunal can provide an upset. Einol is coming back as well, so if Einol is able to take out his match, we may see a similar top 4 in this APAC, but knowing that it's not going to be identical, it could be someone else. It could be Kelva who actually gets his spot. It could be that a Mentress is able to take it over like Careless Cobra or Planetary Goose. We have yet to see that. But we are going to be heading into the semifinals, so stick around. We're going to go on a quick break as we get started with the APAC September semifinals. Take care, everyone.